Welcome. Today we're exploring something profound, something universal,
Mm.
grief. We often see it just as an ending, right? But we want to look at how loss can actually, paradoxically, be a catalyst for, well, immense personal transformation and even unexpected growth. So join us as we try to uncover some pathways to finding healing and maybe new meaning, even when sorrow feels overwhelming. As we were really looking through the research, one of the things that stood out was this paradox you mentioned. Grief isn't just an ending. The materials we studied really highlighted as having this surprising potential for deep personal transformation. It seems to create this unexpected space for, well, for new growth. It's less about replacing what was lost and more about figuring out how to carry that love forward, but differently. And this journey, it seems, often leads to resilience, rediscovery, things you might not expect.
Exactly. And what's really fascinating, something the research really digs into, is how this happens. It
Hmm.
connects to something called post-traumatic growth. It sounds counterintuitive, I know. But when you face profound loss, the intense suffering, it isn't just something to survive. It can actually trigger significant positive psychological changes. We're talking changes that go beyond just getting back to where you were before.
And not just coping, but something more.
Precisely. It's more like an active reorganization. Sometimes it's not even conscious of your identity, your priorities. People often report a much deeper appreciation for life afterwards, stronger, maybe more authentic relationships, and the sense of new possibilities opening up. It really is about evolving through the loss, not, just moving past it.
Which brings us to understanding grief itself. How does it show up? Because it's much more than just, well, feeling sad. The materials we looked at show it can be physical.
Yeah.
You might feel fatigue, aches, pains.
Right, that physical toll. Exactly. Then there's the emotional side, of course, sadness, anger, maybe numbness, but also cognitive effects impacting your focus, your memory, and even spiritually. It can challenge your beliefs, your sense of purpose. Acknowledging all these dimensions, that's really crucial for healing. It helps address the whole person. And the insights we found suggest some key steps, like allowing yourself to feel the full range, all the emotions, without judging them. Creating rituals that honor your loss, maybe like planting something each year or dedicating an action.
Little anchors.
Yes. And seeking connection with others who understand. Practicing self-compassion, especially when you have setbacks, which you will. Exploring creative outlets, too, can be helpful. And just, recognizing small moments of progress, tiny steps forward.
And alongside all that deep emotional work, the research really underlines something maybe more basic, but just as critical. You really can't neglect the foundational self-care stuff, can you?
Oh, absolutely not. It's fundamental.
Like healthy eating, trying to get enough sleep, maybe some gentle exercise. These things are like the bedrock, right?
They really are. They give you the physical and mental stamina needed to navigate everything else grief throws at you. They support the other steps.
Okay, so you're navigating this richer emotional landscape, as you called it, but then there's this phrase that always comes up, letting go.
hmm
What does that actually mean here? Feels, it feels impossible sometimes.
It's a really important question, and the sources are quite clear on this. Letting go does not mean forgetting. Not at all. It's more about making space, creating room for your loved one's legacy to sort of evolve inside you, allowing their influence to transform rather than just fade away.
So not erasing, but transforming.
Exactly. As you maybe gradually release the really sharp, immediate pain, and that takes time, you might start to notice unexpected gifts. Things like perhaps a deeper empathy for others, clearer priorities about what truly matters to you now, and often a renewed, sometimes bittersweet, appreciation for life's fragility. What's really profound is that your capacity for joy, it doesn't necessarily shrink. It can actually deepen because now it exists alongside the loss. The research calls it creating richer emotional landscapes. It's complex, but richer.
That paints a really different picture. The landscape changes, but its depth might actually increase. So then how do you start finding meaning in all of that, in the aftermath?
Well, finding meaning often involves recognizing how that person's influence is still active, how it continues to shape you, maybe shape the world around you through your actions. This could mean consciously adopting values they held dear, or maybe continuing a project they cared about, or even just noticing their best qualities starting to blossom in yourself, perhaps in ways you didn't expect.
Like their legacy living on through you.
Precisely. The sources mention things like establishing new traditions, ones that keep the connection alive but also allow for new experiences. Or maybe finding a new sense of purpose, like through advocacy work inspired by their memory. It's about letting their impact become a continuing part of your story as it unfolds. And tying this all together, it's so important to remember that healing, it isn't linear, It definitely doesn't stick to a schedule. There's an ebb and flow, like waves. Some days are calmer, some are rougher.
Yeah, that sounds realistic.
The journey isn't really about getting over the loss. That phrase doesn't quite capture it. It's more about integrating it, weaving it into your life story so that it allows for continued growth. Grief becomes part of your narrative, yes, but it doesn't have to be the whole story forever. One source used this powerful metaphor, alchemy, the old idea of turning lead into gold.
Alchemy. How does that apply?
Well, the idea is that you're not trying to erase the leaden sorrow. Instead, it's about how that sorrow itself, when you embrace it, when you process it, can be transformed into golden wisdom, a kind of deep understanding, a capacity that maybe wasn't possible before the loss. It's about letting the pain refine you, in a way.
That's quite an incredible way to think about such a deeply human experience.
Uh-huh.
Maybe as you reflect on this, you could consider how embracing both that pain of letting go and the possibilities it might reveal could actually honor your losses, while still somehow remaining open to life's continuing gifts. We'll be back next time with another thought-provoking exploration of a topic that matters.